weight can be a good thing.
40 weeks for men. 40 weeks for men. 40 weeks for men.
So, week 32 of gestational development of the developing baby or fetus in the womb or mommy's tummy is growing in there. So what they say, observational studies have shown at this point, the baby is pretty much perfectly formed. So when I say perfectly formed, I'm talking about proportions of the body, the internal organs, perfectly formed, but it's still quite small. So at this point, this is interesting. So at this point, the baby is putting on good, healthy weight. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This healthy weight is going to help it live in the first few days, weeks of being on the earth. And as it gets ready to be born, it's going to be putting on that good, healthy weight. Now to try and witness to my experience. So my experience of week 32 of gestation and just trying to think about that, my 3 babies, all of them are relatively quite small compared to the general population. So most babies are a little bit bigger than my babies. My babies were trying to get to the point where they were greater than 3 kilograms. So none of them reached that. And the second baby that unfortunately was gotten well, she was a lot smaller. So at this point of the third part of the pregnancy, heading towards home stretch, it's really important for the baby to put on weight, that good healthy weight. Because my babies, got a little visual representation. So you may not be able to see this, but this is a medicine ball, a weighted medicine ball. So it's if you can see that, 3 kilograms here, 3 kilograms. So all of my babies were about 2.7, 2.8 kilograms. So in imperial weights, that is around 6 pounds. And actually you can use artificial intelligence or AI and that will tell you the transfer of kilograms to pounds. But still in the West here, most babies are actually weighed in pounds. But my babies, none of them really got over 6 pounds, I think. I think most 5 pounds. I think my last baby was the biggest. But all of them were relatively small when compared with the rest of the population. And this helps me remember that all of my babies were a bit lighter than this weighted medicine ball. Now it's time to think about society at large. So we're going to go back to the Bible. I'm going to read from the Bible here. So, I think a good parallel verse for us to learn from here, John chapter 1, verse 14. I read it from English Standard Version. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. We have seen his glory, glory of the as of the Son of the Father, full of grace and truth. So the reason I really think it's good for us to read this scripture is because there's a synonymous, or not synonymous, but there's a parallel thing that we can learn from here in English language. The word glory is attributed to weightiness or weight. So obviously we're thinking that week 32 of gestation here about how the baby is putting on healthy weight. Even though it's perfectly formed, it's putting on weight in order to get bigger and be ready to be born. So yeah, like obviously here in John chapter 1 verse 14, we're reading about how seeing the glory of the Father through the Son. And that glory, sometimes I attribute that word to like mean weightiness. And like I think we can learn here, because like it's important to put on healthy weight. And actually, I believe that we are made in the image of God, so we want to exhibit our glory in our weightiness. And this is something, obviously, as the baby is developing, it's just doing it. But this is something we can also like realize that actually is happening. We're creating a weightiness. It's happening in us and around us, as a natural propensity to who we are on this earth as human beings, made in the image of God. We have a weightiness towards us. So weight can be a good thing. So don't think it's all bad putting on weight. Weight can be a good thing. So now the call to action this week for the listeners: help your partner or the person who is developing the baby in their tummy, help them to have a drink of water if they want it, or to have some healthy food. Because really, like, now is the time to build, because now the baby is growing and putting on weight in order to be ready to be born. So this is something that partners can do, dads, both partners can do, is help their partner who is growing the baby inside put on that healthy weight.